What's up, my fellow Division 2 agents? Welcome back to the channel. It's D Werewolf Gaming back with another Division 2 video. Alright, today guys, this video will be a little different. We're going to be addressing one problem that I often get whenever I make YouTube videos, guys. For some reason, for one, I want to first start off saying that Division 2 has been out since 2019. This game's pretty old, guys. I know my SHD level isn't as high as some of the other content creators, guys, but I've been playing this game basically since it came out. And also, I play a lot of other games, so from those of you that are subscribed to me from Remnant 2, you guys know I put a lot of hours in making build videos for that game as well. So like I said, guys, I don't just play one particular game. I play multiple different games. But I have been playing Division 2, basically doing all the content I can do as a solo player since this game ever first came out. The only things I never have taken time to tackle was the raid. I never played any of the raids, guys, and personally, I've said this before in plenty of other videos. I used to play Destiny 1 a lot, and I did a lot of the raids back in the day. And it was so toxic that I really just didn't care for playing in groups with random people because you're dealing with so much toxicity. And it's one reason why I usually stick to just games where I'm able to tackle all the content by myself. That's one reason why I did put so much time in Remnant 2. Really enjoyed that game. There was no weapon or no item locked behind me being forced to play with anyone to get. Now, the only thing in that game that did have items for us that you did have to play with someone was like some of the traits, but that did not really matter. With games that always throw weapons out there, but they lock you behind, forcing you to play with other players, I don't really not care for that, guys. And when it comes to playing different content, I will play the highest level of difficulty in any game if there's an item locked behind it. For example, in Remnant 2, guys, I played the Apocalypse difficulty, I played hardcore, veteran mode, you name it, I did it all just to be able to obtain the weapons that I was able to obtain and basically solo. It did not require a team, because at the end of the day, guys, I've said this before, I play video games for fun, just to relax, and if I make a build and I enjoy it, I always want to share it with the community, and get ideas from the community as well. A lot of the people who comment in my comment section do give me good build ideas, and I really enjoy that. So real quick, I want to go over this build that I showcased yesterday, and we're going to talk about why I'm showing this build again.
Jones is gone. We failed the mission. I knew that son of a bitch. Not only did he manipulate the Black Tusk, he suckered us too. At least we have Chernenko and can find...
All right, for this build, guys, I did use the Lexington assault rifle, and like I said yesterday, it was fully maxed out with 28% increase in weapon damage. And the mods I did have, the talent I did have was Killer, guys, which basically increases critical damage by 70% after you do a kill for 10 seconds. The mods I did have on it was Critical Chance plus 15 rounds with another critical chance and a critical hit damage mod. I did change up this build from yesterday, guys, and I am using the blue screen LMG gun, guys, and basically this gun is amazing, but what the inscription read is cause of death, user error, total damage was 129.0k, and we're fully maxed out, guys, with an expertise of 22% weapon damage. Now, core attributes, as you can see, was fully maxed out as well. The talent is what really stands out, guys. It's called Disruptor, but rounds, and basically whenever you shoot enemies from 1 to 10 stacks, mark enemy targets you will pulse mark targets for 5 seconds. From 11 to 25 stacks, you pulse, disrupt mark targets for 5 seconds. From 26 to 49 stacks, you pulse, disrupt, and disorient mark targets for 5 seconds. At 50 stacks, guys, you get the pulse, you can disrupt and disorient mark targets, and all hostiles within 10 meters of the marked targets. One thing you want to keep in mind, guys, with this gun, you want to mark as many targets as you can, so that way, whenever you do get to 50 stacks and the status effect occur on them, that you will hit all of those targets that you do have pulsed. All right, for the gear piece, guys, like I said, I didn't change out much on this build. Did have armor core, and those mods where I had the Regen, I changed to either critical hit chance or critical hit damage. And for the chest, so basically, guys, I'm gonna just show you a glance of all the pieces that I did have on the gear that I showed you in the video yesterday. Not gonna really do a full build breakdown because it's the same build setup from yesterday. The only thing I did change out was, like I said, the armor Regen. I took that off and just put critical chance of critical damage. There was one question in the comment about using a different set of knee pads, guys, and one of the primary reasons why I didn't use these particular set of knee pads, the Emperor's Guard, is primarily, guys, because it did not have the attributes on it that I really wanted. For example, guys, this one has a skill tier And this one I do have a weapon damage core, but it also comes with a skill haste. I would rather get that be that weapon core with an armor regen, and that be critical hit chance or critical hit damage. Now I didn't need that much armor regen to be able to survive in my gameplay. That was primarily the reason why I went with the Fox Prayers for that 8% damage to target out of cover with the critical hit chance to be able to get more critical hit chance and do more critical hit damage on this build. Everything else stayed the same basically, guys. As you can see, I did take the armor regen off the Fenrir's gloves. And the backpack, the momentum backpack, guys, don't really need to say a whole lot about this. Basically, picking up the trophies gives you all sorts of uh, bonuses. And like I said, for those of you who did not have the momentum backpack, you could have easily went with any backpack with that gives you the bloodsucker talent or the adrenaline rush. All right, so I didn't want to spend too much time going on this build because it's the exact same build besides changing out the critical hit chance or the critical hit damage mods, and that was basically it. And I did use the revival hive again because that's basically gives you a second chance when playing on heroic. And instead of using the pulse guys, I did change out to the striker drone, primarily because the striker drone acts like a decoy for me, guys. Draws aggro away. That way it gives me more time to get that damage in. Now you could have still went with the Banshee pulse if you prefer. All right, critical hit chance went up to 56% when using the Lexington with 127% critical hit damage. And here's the critical hit chance and critical hit damage on the other weapons. So as you can see, guys, I did get a little bit more critical hit chance with a little bit more critical hit damage, taking off those armor regen modifications. All right, here's a glance to show you no mods was used in this gameplay. And so the video today was mainly primarily focused on showing you the same build without the mods. This to show you all of those gamers who may be new to this game and don't really understand that, guys, when the modifiers are on, those enemies are a lot harder to kill. They have health regen and they move a lot faster. I get this comment over and over. I had a comment today. Guy was saying all kind of random stuff, basically complaining about showing a build with the modifiers being used. When I clearly say at the beginning of every video, you do not have to use the modifiers. These builds have always been tested prior to using the modifiers. The modifiers just, in my opinion, actually makes the game more challenging because the enemies have health regen. Playing through this gameplay on heroic without the modifiers, guys, felt way more easier to manage. The only thing you will notice difference is that your character will be moving a lot slower, and that's basically it. So that was the primary reason why I did wanted to bring this video out to those of you who are always on the fence about using mods. Thing that's keeping this game going, in my opinion, is the build diversity. You got so many different ways to put builds together that makes this game fun. Now, if you're new, yeah, you have a lot of stuff to do, but for people who play this game solo like myself, guys, there isn't much for me to do besides collect whatever new items come out and try to make new builds and put them together to make it work. A build that has survivability and can dish out amazing damage. The only downfall in this build, guys, is this chest piece, which I will probably change this chest piece out eventually, guys, because Blood Rate would have probably worked pretty good on this chest piece. Instead of that, Intimidate. Problem with Intimidate is that when you don't have the bonus stacks and armor, you're not getting the benefit of that skill. And so those enemies that are far off, you won't be doing as much damage. With this chest piece I got on, guys, I can get a 40% increase in bonus damage, bonus weapon damage whenever I have all the stacks, all 10 stacks. But the problem is that those 10 stacks don't last for that long, and you have to be up close in those enemies' faces to be able to take full advantage of that chest piece. These builds are always just blueprints. All right, with that being said, guys, I want to give a big thank you to everyone that continues to support me on my channel, especially those who always have something positive to say, guys. And this video today was all just to bring you gameplay showing the same exact build that I put out yesterday without using any modifiers, because like I say, at the end of the day, guys, you do not need modifiers to make these builds work in this game. The modifiers, in my opinion, actually makes this game harder because it buffs those enemies up so much. They're moving a lot quicker, they're hard to kill, and they have health regen. Not only that, guys, their turrets and their skills seem to outperform your skills, in my opinion. That turret sometimes take forever to take out, and it will be regenerating health as you're shooting. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay today. That being said, really appreciate all you new subscribers out there and those who continue to support me on my channel. Really means a lot, guys. All right, and D Werewolf out.
Hostile radio intercepted.
Division's on my 6! So cut through the planetarium. We gotta secure that ordnance.
Some of their secrets. The The third rock from the sun. Our home may not be the center of our universe. So far, it is the only planet that can support life beyond the vast reaches of space. It's irrational to believe that our planet is the only place for sustaining life. The Mars once had vast oceans, only created by the intensity of a single moment. No other planet, our but the building blocks that evolved from single-cell started as nothing more than the ash of a dying star light years away. Once home to flowing water, as evidenced by these images.
Medical assistance needed.
Evidence of recent water as well. Gullies and dried river systems. Minerals present on the surface of Mars. Today, water can be found on Mars largely as ice at the Martian North Pole, although small quantities of this water vapor in the thin Martian atmosphere will grind the Martian.
Detected. Scan the parts. Setting a recovery team. Link up with them and you'll be done there. Components identified. They can rig it with a warhead as a means of propulsion. They wouldn't even need a guidance system to the White House or a settlement.
Kinda goes without saying. Yeah, it's a line that can never, ever be used.
big stockpile of ordnance. Throw in the fact that the settlements can